Hello everyone, I'm RiverFox and welcome to the channel, and today we are carrying on with our Canny Valley AFK Endurance Build series. Now if you have missed any of the other videos in this series, do check the link in the playlist down below. It will cover all of the amplifiers and the AFK builds that I have done for them. So today we are going to be carrying on with our East amplifier, and we are going to be going through our East spawn builds today. Now this one, it does kind of link in a fair bit to our other defenses, and we do have quite a lot to it. So for this, I'll walk you through the trap tunnels and things that we've got set here, and then what I'll do is I will go through and I'll actually take you through the step-by-step instructions how to build it then. But our spawn points are going to be mainly around this area down here. It could be anywhere along this spot. You will get the odd one which will spawn up on the top of the actual waterfall up there. And if I just get up here, oh, not too far. I never can get up there, I tell you, it's so difficult. Right, from here, let's have a look. You will also get the occasional spawn on this part up here as well. Okay, so that is pretty much all of our defenses. So what we're going to go do now is go through the step-by-step builds guide then of how to do this. So what we'll do is we're going to start at this spot here, and right behind this you will have this natural this natural rock surface here, and there will be a natural cave which will run through this. So this point will be the edge of that natural cave. So we're going to build these bits out here first and go along this section, and then we'll go through the other sides. So for this one then, if you are facing to the west, you will place a wall here with a wall launcher, and underneath you are going to place a wooden floor spikes. If you then move to your right one square, and you are going to place a wall launcher in front of you again, and a wooden floor spikes underneath. And don't worry about the ceiling pieces, we will cover those after. Now above this second wall launcher you will place another wall there, a bare wall. And to your right again, you are going to place another wall launcher with another bare wall above it, and another wooden floor spikes on the bottom. And we'll leave these bits now. We'll leave these bits for another section, because that will go through on another load of trap tunnels in there. So we've got our 3 wall structures here, and we've got our 3 floor structures on here. So if you turn around now to face the east, and if you move forward one square, and you will place a wall launcher, and on your left hand side then you will place a sound wall. And up above here, we're gonna leave this again temporarily, because we will come to that once we have done all of our ceiling pieces. So we do that at the end. So from that point there, if you move to your right, you will place another wooden floor spikes. And if you move to your right again, you are going to place a floor freeze trap. Now on your right hand side, you will place a wall launcher. And in front of you, you will place then a edited wall on the left hand side. Again, don't worry about these ceiling pieces, we'll go through those in a moment. So from here, if you move forward one square, and you are going to place a floor freeze trap, and in front of you will be the edited wall on the left hand side. Move to your left, and you are going to place a wooden floor spikes, and you will place a plain wall on that side. To your left again, and you will place another wooden floor spikes, and that will be it. There'll be no other structures on there. So if you move forward one square, and at the edge of this wall, which will catch anything that does fall down from this point, you will place a sound wall. Now if you now turn and face your south and move forward one square, on the back of this wall that we've already placed, you will place a wall launcher. And from here, move forward 1 square again. Now we've already got our edited wall in there. That is all sorted. So right in front of you here, you will place a wall launcher. And to your left, you will place then a sound wall. And that will be pretty much all of the structures here. If you move to your left 1 square and turn around and then go straight towards the wall, and you will place a sound wall there as well. Again, that is to help catch anything that might fall down from there. And that is all of those structures on there. Now, because we have placed these 2 walls over here, then we can now get up onto the top and we can actually place our structures here. So we've got just underneath here, we have got the 2 walls that we placed. So from these 2 here, these 2 walls, if we turn and face the east, and you are going to place 2 floor structures down here. 1 at this tile and 1 to your right. If you move forward from here, and you are going to place another 2 floor structures, and from there another 2 floor structures again. So from this square then, once we are finished, now make sure you do leave these blank, otherwise they will just fall off the top of that straight onto the floor piece if you have one there. So from here, if you turn to the south, and you are going to place 1, 2, and 3 structures, 3 floor pieces, and they will finish that section on there. So if you now turn to the east and place a single floor tile there, you can leave this one. You don't need to bother putting one there because we've got a raised section there they won't get up onto anyway. So from here, you will go forward and place another one, another floor tile. To the right of that, you will place another floor tile. And then in front of these 2, you will place another 2 floor tiles. So that will give you a sort of 2 by 2 square here. From this point, you are going to place another 2 floor tiles. And if you then move forward and then turn to your north, and you are going to place another 2 along here, and move to your right, and you will place another 2 along there as well. Leave these ones blank. In fact, you can't even build on those 2 anyway, but definitely leave that one blank because of the spawn point up there. So if we then come back down here, now all of these pieces which we have just built, you will fill them with ceiling drop traps, and that will cover the ceiling area around here. Now, because of this bit here where we do have the raised rock, so on the top of this wall launcher which we have placed, we will place a ceiling electric field, and to your right then you will place another ceiling electric field there as well. Now, that will finish off all of this main section of our design here. Now the only thing that you need to add in then is this ramp here or backward stairs, whichever you want to do it, and attach to this tile here. You can leave the drop trap off that one. You don't need to put one on there, but just place this on, and that will make sure that any husks that stand on this spot will get flung into our box, which I will go through in a moment. So that will finish that side off completely. So from here we are going to be heading into our main trap tunnel. So from this point, if you move forward 1 square, you will have natural builds behind these, so you won't be able to go any further than 1 square anyway. But you will have a tar pit on the floor, you are going to have a sound wall on the left, and a wall launcher on the straight ahead. On your right hand side then, you will have your edited wall to the right hand side. So now if you turn and face to the west and move forward 1 tile, now again make sure you do leave that one blank. I'll come to that in a moment. So from this point then, at this square, you will place a floor freeze trap on the floor. On the left hand side, you are going to have a broadside. On the right hand side, you will have a sound wall, and up above a ceiling electric field. If you then move forward another square, behind these two walls is natural wall anyway, so you won't be able to go any further. You will place another floor freeze trap on the floor, another broadside on the left, and a wall launcher now in front of you, and a ceiling electric field up above. From here, if you turn and face to the north and go forward one square, and you will place a floor freeze trap on the floor. You'll have a sound wall on the right, a wall launcher in front of you, a ceiling electric field up above, and on the left hand side you will have your edited wall to the left hand side. So from here, if you now turn towards the west and go forward another square, and you will have the floor freeze trap on the floor, and you will have a broadside on both the left and the right hand side, and up above a ceiling electric field. From there, move forward another square and another freeze trap on the floor, and a floor launcher right in front of you, and a ceiling electric field up above. And if you then move over to your left one square, you've got a freeze trap on the floor, you've got a wall launcher on your left, there will be a broadside behind you, and up above you are going to have a ceiling gas trap. This is mainly for smashers. So from here, move forward one square, and you've got a freeze trap on the floor, sound wall on the left, wall launcher straight in front, and another gas trap up above. So if you now turn and face to the north and move forward one square, now this wall will already be here, so if you place a broadside on that, a tar pit on the floor, another broadside on the left, and another gas trap up the top, and just in front of you will be your edited wall, this time on the right hand side. Now for this bit, I'm not sure if I covered this in the last build, so we'll go through this square again anyway. If you move forward here, you will have a freeze trap on the floor. You're going to have a ceiling electric field this time up above, and on the left you will have your edited wall on the left hand side, and on the right you will have the edited wall on the right hand side. Now everything over that direction I did cover in the north builds, so do check them out if you haven't already. So from this point then, you will turn and face towards the east and move forward one square, and you are going to have a floor launcher on the floor, a sound wall on the left. On the right hand side you will have your edited wall in there, and up above here you are going to have a ramp or backward stairs to fling them into this box. Now on your left hand side here, you don't have to have a window, you can just make it a full wall if you prefer, whichever. Now from this stem, if you then hop onto this square behind the wall, now you are going to have a floor launcher on the floor. The left hand side will already be built there anyway, but no trap on there. You will have a sound wall in front of you, and you will have wall lights then on the right hand side. And above the wall lights you are going to have another blank square, and above that you will have a blank ceiling piece. The reason for that is this is a timeout room, so it is a room to keep the husks in rather than doing any damage to them. From there, if you then move forward into the next square, and you will have another floor launcher here on the floor. On your left hand side will be the wall lights. Behind you will be the sound wall, and the other two walls will be blank. And let's see, yep, up above here you are going to have a ceiling piece up there as well, and that will do that side. So then if you carry on this direction, now everything from that point out there has already been covered, so we will leave those. But on this square you will have a floor launcher, to your left will be a sound wall, and on the back of this wall we've already placed, that will be blank. Now do place a wall up here above the sound wall, just to make sure that nothing can actually phase through onto the top of our builds. Now this structure here, this will already be in place, so if you then place a ramp or backward stairs, which will then attach to that ceiling piece we have already placed in there, and that will cover that section. So from this point now, if you now turn to the east, and if you move forward 1 square, on your left hand side now, you will have a sound wall, you'll have a floor launcher on the floor, and another edited pyramid or backward stairs in here, which is going to send our husks into this box. So if we now move over to this square, now this wall will be blank. You'll have a floor launcher on the floor. In front of you will be blank. To your right will be a sound wall, and behind you will be a wall lights. Now it is a good idea to add 2 extra walls on top of these 2 structures, just to make sure that nothing is going to move out of the boxes, and place a ceiling piece on the top to make sure that husks are not going to get bounced too far up out of it. So once you've done that, if you then come back to this square and then move forward to this square here, now you're going to have a wooden floor spikes on the floor. You will not be able to build anything in these squares, so unfortunately we can't even put anything up here at all. It just won't let us. So from this point, if you then move to your right, and you're going to have a floor launcher, and in front of you will be a bare wall, to your right a sound wall, and behind you this will be a bare wall as well. Now you won't get a vast amount that will use this because there's nothing to actually push them into it, but it's otherwise a empty space, and it is used occasionally by some husks. They will try and sort of step off of these structures, so they will come over to this direction. The only last thing you do need to add in is on this wall behind you, you will add another edited cone or backward stairs to push them into this box here, which we will go to in a second. So from this point again, if you then move forward, and you are going to have a sound wall on the left, you will have wooden floor spikes on the floor, and you will have a broadside on the right. Now above that broadside, place another blank wall, just to make sure nothing phases in anywhere through them. Now on the other side of this broadside is another pit, another box, timeout box. So this wall with the broadside on it, you're going to have wall lights, and in front of you then you will have a bare wall. To your right will be a sound wall, behind you will be a bare wall, and on the floor will be a floor launcher. Up above here, connecting, oops, pressed the wrong button. Try that again. Up above here, connecting the edited piece that we have there will be a floor piece, just again to make sure that they don't go too far, and place a extra wall on top of this one here. So that will cover that box. So if we get back to this square, if you move forward again, and again wooden floor spikes on the floor, sound wall on the left, wall launcher in front of you, nothing up above because there's not really much point. So from this point, if you now turn to face the south and move forward 1 square, and you will have a floor launcher on the floor, sound wall on both the left and the right hand side, and above the one on the right there you're going to have another ramp which will fling them into this box over there. Now make sure you do add this piece in up here, because sometimes they can get flung in such a way that they will actually phase then through it up to the top, so at least having that will prevent that from happening. So from this square here, if you then jump into this, this side, and you will have a floor launcher on the floor. On the right, you've got the wall lights. They'll be blank in front of you, sound wall on your left, and blank on the right. And up here, now this is just to make sure that nothing can phase anywhere or get through anywhere. We have placed this one already, and we've just placed that one. So at the tops of both of these, place a blank wall, and then on the very top of those, place a ceiling square up there. You don't need to put a trap on it, because again, we're just trying to prevent them from respawning by just sort of phasing them, you know, making them bounce up and down. And if we get back over to this square now, this is pretty much back to where we started just now. Now you do need to make sure you fill that one in up there as well, because again, that is to prevent any phasing in from the other side. If I can just get up here. Now I did, yeah, these are the two that we placed in, and we've got that one up there. Now I did place a few extra structures up here, because in some of the later waves with the propane, I did find that some of our timeout room was getting destroyed, and when it got destroyed, it meant all this was open. And what they were doing is they were then standing in the bottom of this down there, and they were literally lobbing straight up and managed to get a direct attack to our amplifier. So I've done it, you know, done it this way with a few extra builds just to make sure that that was taken care of. So what we did do from the top of these two pieces here and the ceiling piece we've already got in place, if you come up on the top of this, and you will walk forward and place 1 and 2 floor tiles, and when you get to the end of that, it should link in to the wall that we have already placed earlier on, and that should sort that out. But if this wall isn't already in there, just place that wall there as well, and that will prevent then any lobbers or flingers from standing down in that bit down the bottom here and just getting direct access into our builds. So they were standing here, they were, and literally they were just lobbing from here, so that would take care of them. And that is pretty much everything of our builds. We do have 1 or 2 tiny other little bits to go through because of this spawn, which will appear right here, right on the very top of this waterfall here. So instead of just falling down and going directly towards our builds, they do tend to like going around here. If they do come through this way, this is not a problem. They tend to just go down here and fall down that way. But they will, however, especially the flingers, they will come all the way around here to go up this way. So I did place in 2 broadside traps here. I mean, you could probably replace these actually with some wall darts or something else that's going to probably deal with them a bit better, but I just placed some broadsides in there because there is a natural ramp which they would like to follow up this direction. So if they do manage to break through those, then I have placed here at the edge of this mountain, we have on the left hand side, we've got a wall launcher, and then if you turn to the west, there is a sound wall, and that would tend to make them dance and fling them out over there. If they don't get flung by that, then they would generally fall down this spot. So again, we've got another sound wall here and another wall launcher there, and that will fling them all the way down there to be dealt with. Because what I was finding without these is, especially the flingers, they would come over literally right over here, and they can get direct straight to our amplifiers. So that is why I placed those up on there, and that I think is pretty much it. There's one other bit actually I need to go through. Now, the only other piece that we've got from this section here, there is a natural ramp which does come up here. So I did put in some block off along here. There's like a natural cave that goes through it. So when we've already placed all these on here, so from the top of this natural ramp, if you place a tile down, and if you turn to the west and place a second tile down, and move forward to that. Now on the left hand side here, you are going to have a sound wall, and if you move forward again, you'll have a tar pit, a wall lights on the left, and a wall launcher then straight ahead. To the right of that will be another sound wall. I didn't bother placing any structure on there. I didn't think it was really needed on that section. But from that, once this sound wall is in, behind this sound wall is some block off. So in here, all we have is we have a edited ramp which is pointing to the east, and it is surrounded by walls on all of the sides. On this wall here, we have placed a wall launcher, and on this wall here we have placed a wall launcher as well, because later waves, mainly to do with amplifiers from this direction, they sometimes will try to break through these structures. So we've got this this one lot of block off in there. Make sure that it is pointing to the east and not to the west. So behind this, we do have then another one which is exactly the same, pointing to our east, surrounded by walls. And behind that again, we do have exactly the same again. No point putting one on there, to be honest. I left that one blank. And to the right of it, we literally just have the backward ramp. No walls in there. Don't need to have any walls on that. And behind this again, these are really difficult to get into. So it's probably better you actually do it from the other side. There we are, we got in there. It's probably better to do it from the other side of it and work your way out this way. But it's literally then a one box, 2 box, and 3 full boxes without a side on there. Then from there on, you don't need any of the side pieces. They're not needed. So it will be a wall behind this, and then you've got your backward ramp and another wall, which I want to get under. Okay, so another wall, and last piece then is an edited cone which is going to point to the southeast, and then finished off with another wall. Now I know they could, if they got through, they could, you know, just come through this section here, but they never have. They've never got through any of it, because there are so many layers in there. They don't tend to want to go and break through all of those structures to get through it. But you will get a wave later on where you will have the tornado wave, and it will rip through structures, and some of these structures will get damaged, even though it's for this amplifier up here. But even though it's for that, it will come as far down as this. So some of it will get damaged. That is why I added so many layers in there. But yes, that will cover then all of your defenses and your block off and everything for the east amplifier from the east spawns. So I hope you do find this video useful. If you do, don't forget to drop a like down below, smash that subscribe before you go, and if you turn on the notification bell, then you will always get updated of all my content when it comes out. If you haven't already, do check the playlist linked in the description down below. We'll cover all of the amplifiers. If you do buy anything from the Fortnite store, please consider using code RiverFox, as it will help me out a great deal. But until the next one, I hope you have a lovely day and stay safe, my friends.